Testing, testing, one, two, three. That's the only microphone I have. So Can you hear me? Maybe. Can you guys hear me now? Hello. Give me a heads up. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Seriously? What's the matter with this baloney? I mean, it's literally the same exact thing. Can you still hear me after I removed that? Please tell me it's a yes. Can you guys still hear me? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. You guys can still hear me? Perfect. It's so weird. I don't know why it wasn't working. I guess maybe OBS just glitched a little bit. And one more thing, can you guys, so let's say I go to YouTube, can you hear a video that I'm playing? Oh, look at that, I'm live. Can you hear this?
The harder I crank it, the quicker it shoots. What if I were to take this power tool?
Can you guys hear that video? Okay, good. Good. Let's see what's going on. I don't know. Let me guess, you guys can hear me now after I enabled those two, correct? Yep, okay. So let's try to pinpoint which exact one is the problem. So you guys can hear me now then, correct? Let me know if since number one is on. Number one is on. Okay, so number 2 is the one that's messed up. Got it. Now, can somebody explain to me why number 2 is wrong? Because, I mean, desktop is 1. Man, I don't know. If I remove these 2, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let me know in the chat. You can hear me. Okay. So then what is the issue here? Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? If you can still hear me, okay, you can hear me. Now let me know if you can hear this video. If you can, then we've got it working. If you can hear the video, then we're all set. Perfect. Okay, so that means that I guess for streaming, I need to have audio input and audio output both active. Mic audio track 1. Desktop audio track 2, and you guys can still, it's going through the headset or mic or something. That's okay. The main point isn't really for you guys to be watching it or listening to the videos, but I guess I can fiddle with the settings a little bit more. So the mic is track 1. Desktop audio is track 2. Okay. Alright, how about we get into some modding now that we got this all figured out. Because I can still record everything just fine. But, no more fiddling. Okay. So here we go. We have our blade right here. Now this cool thing, I am working on with Galaxy, so he's making the handle while I made that. Well, actually, I edited it. One of the guys in the chat made it. It is Boruto's blade. Now it's actually really cool. We're not really going to talk about the abilities because I don't want to spoil anything for you guys, but that's going to be hopefully added to this next Trials of the Shinobi update. We have many different things we're adding. Well, mainly me at this point, now that I know how to actually make spells. I'm getting a bit of help from some of the other guys that can code. But for the most part, I've got this done myself now, minus the models. I have no idea when the next update is. So, you and everybody else that's wondering can keep asking. But, hopefully soon. I'd like to release it soon enough. There are a few, let's see. I uploaded a few different beta downloads for patrons. Oh, and this Hammond spell. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but from JoJo, you can stick your fist through enemies, which is actually really cool. And then your hand looks like that with the particles that I added. You can download the Atomic Dismantling Jutsu and the Shuriken Jutsu as of right now. Hey Zach, since I didn't make the Leaf Village map, I won't be updating it. I had a different guy work on that. I can see if he plans on updating it all, but I will keep you guys posted. How many jutsus do I plan on adding? A lot. Okay. So if we take a look. Oh man. So right now, this is my more updated Trials of the Shinobi. If we go to our spells, we have our Shuriken Jutsu, Rasen Shuriken, Rasengan, Chidori, and Atomic Dismantling Jutsu. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as of right now. I would say I plan on adding maybe one more jutsu before I actually release this pack, before I release this next update. But I'm not entirely sure about that. What I can tell you guys is that a lot of work has been done and there have been a lot of edits. So if we look at them, I can actually tell you what they are. Hopefully. And then let's look at this actually. Well, that's because it disables your hand colliders. Because that's the best way to get the Chidori to work. So if you want to go in depth of how the Chidori actually works, it disables your hand colliders. It spawns a bunch of colliders in an object that I made in Unity in the shape of your hand. It spawns particles at your hand, and it allows you to pierce. So it does quite a few things. But if we take a look at the change logs, you can now press Alt or the spell button with the shurikens in order to imbue them with lightning, like Boruto does. Shuriken Jutsu, you summon shurikens to your hand. Atomic Dismantling Jutsu, well, I think that's pretty obvious, but you spawn it in your hand and then you throw it at enemies and they get dismantled. The Rasengan, it will no longer tap the enemies and make them just basically teleport through everything. The Chidori sounds for both of these, well, the Rasengan and Chidori sounds are both a whole lot better. I added the paintable script, although I don't know how long that's going to last for, according to Drags, because it's going to be updated. But yes, I will be updating the Harry Potter mod soon enough. But we have this. So I figured I'd show you guys and get to work on it. We have our spell right here for the Rasen Shuriken. And I believe everything works just fine. We should. Oh. To explain this to you guys a little bit, when the projectile actually hits an enemy, it spawns the particles right here. When I actually make it do that. When I actually make the particles for it. And then it explodes. So right here, it's a sphere that basically enemies caught in it. Not the player itself, but any enemies caught in it will they won't explode. They'll be forced back. That's what they'll be doing. So one thing that I can actually show you guys, which is super cool, is we have our force right here. So especially if I want to be testing this in game and I don't want to have to keep changing the script in order to do it, what I can do real quick is let's just name this, I don't know. Rasen Shuriken Force. If we copy that, all we have to do is create a public float named Rasen Shuriken Force. Okay, now what we are going to do is we go into our spell. Atomic Dismantling Jutsu. And what we just did, let's see, do we have any questions? No. Okay, so what we just did is added a public number. So what we got to do is actually we can just copy this right here, paste it in. We named it Rasen Shuriken Force. And now we can determine how far back the enemies get blown up. So let's start with the value of 5. Save it. And, you know, just for simplicity's sake, let's have it be the first one so that we know what it is. So that we know that something was actually added. And it turns out I didn't actually change the... Oh, no. One sec, guys. This is it. Oh, maybe I just forgot to change the type on the previous one. So, to actually check on that, maybe I started naming it something else. Okay, but for this one, it is, we name it Rasen Shuriken Explosion Rasen Shuriken. So namespace dot explosion comma Rasen Shuriken. That should be really it, though. So if we go to our streaming assets, go to our repos. Now what we can do is go to Trials of the Shinobi. Go to Spells, Atomic Dismantling Jutsu. Where is it? Rasen Shuriken. Copy and paste it in. So now it should work properly. At least that's the point. So not only will it spawn the visual effects when exploding, when colliding with the enemy or the environment, but it will also force them back because of this. A tree, okay. A skill tree style would actually be really cool for Trials of the Shinobi. So I definitely think that that's a good idea and something I will most likely use at some point. Okay, so we have this, we added our public float, we added our value. Let's just make sure, yep, everything's connected. Oh, also, for those of you that do not know, I actually just made a store. So, if you'd... Oh. Here we go. Here's my store if you want to buy any of the merchandise. I am actually going to be buying this hoodie because I really do like it. I think it looks great. But we have some hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, tank top, socks, iPhone, Android cases, some cups and mugs, another long sleeve shirt, pillow, and a sticker. So it's not a whole lot, but it's a little bit, and it's just for fun. So for those of you that want to support me and the channel itself, you can definitely go do that. So I'm going to start posting links to it, but for now you can find it in the Discord server if you go to merchandise. We already had someone actually buy a shirt, so join them and go buy one. So if we delete this real quick, let's delete all those. Okay. Who's this? Go away. Okay. So we've got that all set up now. Everything is working. I'm showing you this. Let's actually start trying to make some VFX. Okay. This is what we're going to be trying to make. Now, considering I do not know how to really work with shaders, that is, we're going to be trying our best to make it. So let's see what we got so far. If we take a look at the Shibuki. Not sure why it looks like that, but let's create an empty. Let's make it a little bit easier to see. Okay. There we go. So that is our explosion as of right now. Now I will have you guys notice that I named it exactly Rasen Shuriken Explosion. So because it's in quotation marks, it needs to be named exactly this in the effect JSON. So we go to mods, Trials of the Shinobi, effects, Rasen Shuriken Explosion. Notice it's named this exactly. So we have our VFX right there. And sound effects right there. Any questions? Okay. How much do I get from the merch? I take very little from the merchandise. It's mainly just for you guys. One thing I did was I decreased the price as much as possible so that it would be less for you guys, just so that you'd have things with the logo on it. What does the pillow say? I can show you. Pie Pop 101 and you are awesome. With a little pie in the middle. I just thought it'd be something cool. And I'm definitely going to be getting that mug. But for now, if we make a quick little explosion out of this. Let's change the color over lifetime to not look like this. Let's have it be this. Let's have it spawn all at once. Much better. Let's see if we can actually... There we go. Those particles look a whole lot better. And if we want to get fancy, because we're just making this little particles, just make this a little bit grayer. Set it to be a little bit bluish. And then this, bright blue. Not bad. Only making it a little bit blue. Actually, that's bright white. I guess I don't even need the blue, to be honest with you guys. You could summon a bunch of enemies that disappear in a couple of seconds. There is actually a spell that already does that as of right now. Not multiple enemies, but just one. It's made by Talion. It is his ally. Oxy made an ally spawner spell. Talion made an enemy spawner spell. So, pretty much the same thing, but from two different guys. Yeah, there's my dog. Okay, so we do not want the color after all. So let's get rid of that. And let's just set this to be white. Save it. Duplicate it. Let's add some force. Because why not? Let's have some fun with it. Maybe. Okay. Maybe velocity. Nah. Notice, guys, that all of this is just basically a whole lot of trial and error. That's kind of bad. But, you know what we could easily do if we change the particle size to 5, change the lifetime to 1. There's our explosion. A lot bigger. And for now, that can be our Rasen Shuriken explosion. So if we delete this, beautiful. One thing I do want to do is make the particles start disappearing much quicker. Because they really don't start disappearing. I guess that's better. Rasen Shuriken. Now, would you guys... Let's... Just because the naming is the exact same, so I don't confuse myself later. VFX. What is the sound? I don't even remember what I did. That's the star sound. Hey Jack Games VR. It's nice of you to say. I'm glad all of you are here watching this. Okay, so we have our little bit of particles. Our Rasen Shuriken. If we actually zoom into it. Turn off gizmos. This is what we have. It's looking pretty sweet. Oh, my question for you guys: would you like to see me add in the Super Mini Tail Beast Ball to this update, or should we wait for another one? Zoom in a little bit, and here we go. So that's what it looks like, and that's what it looks like at the very end of it. So I'm just wondering if you guys have a preference, if that's something that you would like to see in this update. I'm not entirely sure what to do with it as of right now. I think part of my laptop fell off. Hold on a sec. Yeah, one second, guys. The back of it, the grip, fell off. That'd be kind of annoying. Much better. Almost all better. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to glue it a little bit. Maybe it's because of the heat of the computer that it started melting a little, but... Alright, so do we want to see the... Okay. You definitely want the mini-tailed beast ball. Alright, perfect. What should it do, is my question. Should it need to be held in hand like the Rasen Shuriken? No, like the Rasengan. So would it be held in the hand like the Rasengan and then you hit enemies with it? Do you want to throw it at enemies? Would you like me to try to figure out how to do both? Even though I'm not sure if that's, well, extremely possible. I mean, it should be. I can actually try to conceptualize it right now, because I'd like to actually at some point get it to do both. What I'm gonna do is just what I will do at some point is just make a shadow clone jutsu. So basically, you'll equip it, you'll pull the trigger, and then you'll spawn an enemy or an ally in front of you to help you fight. And then I can make it so that they only live for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. That's a really good idea. I'm going to write that one down. Hold on. Okay. I would like for it to do both. So if we go to the Rasengan, taking a look at the script real quick. I would need help figuring out how to actually do it, because currently it's an object that's spawned in the hand. But okay. You know what we're gonna do? Let's work on a couple of the different Chidoris, because we have Kakashi's purple Chidori and Sasuke's black and white. Now I think that would be really, really cool to add both of them. We can actually do that pretty easily just by modifying the VFX. So if we go and do that, let's name this Sasuke. Kakashi, and Sasuke is black. So all we really need to do, because we have these VFX right here, And they work great. I've never had any complaints about them. Kakashi Chidori. All we're going to be doing is just changing the colors. So we have this right here. The center. So now that's what those look like. Now, one thing I want to experiment with a little bit is, let's do this. So stop that. That. Okay, that was under the Chidori Center. So if we pause this, now if you guys look at this real quick, instead of having our shader be legacy shader, it's actually so we can change the shader to get what we want better. So if we duplicate this, now told it to duplicate. Hold on. Anyways, double click it. Okay, so let's duplicate this. JL22. Probably why it wasn't working. So we name this Black Trail 21. All we're going to be doing is adding this into the Chidori folder. Since it's Sasuke's black one, all we're going to do is, since I didn't want to mess with the shader on the other one, we can go to Particles. And then if we go to, I believe it's Alpha Blended Pre-Multiply. Now what we can do is something really, really interesting. So with these, it's all Trail 21, Trail 21, Trail 21, and this one, nothing. Okay, so all we gotta do, let's select all of them that use Trail 21. Let's drag in our black trail. Now they will all use the same one. Notice, particles are looking just a little bit different. Now it's because we're using a different shader. So let us change some colors. So if we go to random between two colors, let's have one be pure white and one be pure black. Now notice we can actually have it be black, which is something really, really cool about this. Now it's also, okay, so it's choosing colors between black and white. Okay. So, random between two colors, between two gradients maybe. Let's try one being all white. Same thing, but this is all black. No idea if this is going to work. No. So this is something I'm going to need to experiment with a little bit. I can do pure white and pure black. I just really did not want to duplicate all these, because that would be kind of annoying. So what we can do is, if we set all of these to be color, let's just set them to be all white. Pause it. Notice the center is still blue because that's not actually using a trail, or it's not using the same shader. So okay, so let me look at these questions. The clones have low HP. That's a really good idea. How would I make their Chidori stronger? I mean, I could change the damage multipliers. and make them do more damage, but they already do a lot. But let's see where we're at. So we've got this. We got our Chidori center. We have our white. Change that to be 50. Literally just duplicate it. So let's name that white. Name it black so we have a better idea of what we're doing. And let's just change these to all be black. And they're not showing. Restart. That's it. Okay, so we have his black. One thing I actually need to look up. I'm doing great, Spudsy. I'm glad you enjoy my mods. Thanks a lot. How you guys doing? Let me know in the chat. Actually, I can't remember if his Chidori was just straight black or if there was variation. Oh, hold on. No, look at this. So there's some gray in it too. So, that makes my life a whole lot easier. I didn't realize that, so all I gotta do, really... Oh, let's bring the electricity back in there, where it started. So we have all of our blacks and everything. So it's black, it's gray. I think that looks pretty good to me. So if we change the center to be not blue, that's not good. Why don't we change it to be a random between two colors again? And we pause it. Now it looks like something is still blue, which we do not want. So that's blue, or that's not blue, that's black and white. Everything's black and white. The center right here has nothing. So I'm guessing, let's see if there is a color over lifetime on anything. Ah, here we go. This is why you gotta check everything. Change this. So this is these particles right there. Here we go. It is... Stop it. I am wondering though why. Let's experiment with some of these. Now this one looks a little bit better, doesn't it? With the colors itself. Kind of like this a bit more. So I guess we're doing this. Cool. Okay. So this is our... Not Kakashi. Silly me. Adult Sasuke Chidori. And if you guys notice, I already removed the script, but if we open it up, we go to Chidori. Again, with the quotation, we look at the Chidori. So the effect Jason starts with the lowercase c. So when I make the two different, what do you call it? The two different scripts. I have to make two different scripts for the two different Chidori VFX. So now that this is done, let's take this. It's really funny, guys, for those of you that are on stream. I was just oh, hold on, guys. Let's see. It's been a couple of messages. How would a curse mark work? That would be kind of cool if you could fly with it. Zach, do you know how to code? And yes, Young Dice's the Hammond mod is coming soon-ish. I'm not entirely sure when, but there is actually a beta version on my Patreon. If you are not a patron already, teeny bit. Do you know C#, JavaScript? What do you know, Zach? Okay. So we have this right here. And if we take the regular Chidori from Sasuke, all we're going to be doing is a curse mark, activate black Chidori. Yeah, what do you think? Should it change the mesh render on the hands so that the hands will be blackish or something like that? Because I know, what's his face? I know Aya made a Sharingan mod that actually changes the eyes. Now, I haven't tried it myself yet, but I've heard from a lot of people that it's extremely buggy. See if we can find a picture anywhere. So it basically just, from what I've read, it spawns the Sharingan or this image in front of your eyes, in front of the lens. Okay. Well, Zach, if you do learn C#, definitely DM me on Discord and we can work together on a mod. Because I'm always up for helping and working with new modders, especially those that know how to code. Yeah, Obama, I heard that it was extremely annoying when it was in your eye too. That's why I never ended up getting it. But, what is this? Notifications. Ah. For those of you that see these messages, it's not even there. Oh, because I deleted these. For those of you that see these random names commenting things like this, don't click on the links because they're viruses and they're links to bad stuff. I don't know why I have these bots posting on my videos, but it's extremely annoying. So definitely don't click on them. Purple Chidori. So let's look at this again. It looks like it's very purple. There's a couple streams of blue in it actually. So that's what we can do. So let's add some of the VFX to it. Let's see, I'm guessing these right here would look good blue. Pause. Look at the particles. Yeah, they're big enough. So let's set it to be bright blue. Then everything else can be purple. Let's try to have it be a bit of a lighter purple too. Right? Yeah. Okay. Change the start color. Let's make it nice and purple. It's kind of cool. If we make it between two colors, let's make it a lighter purple and a darker purple to give a little bit more variance to it. So it's not just the same blinding color. I think that looks fine. Now one thing we can actually do with this is if we take the trail from Sasuke and we make it nice and black, can add a little bit of variation to it so it's not just blinding bright like this one. You know what I'm going to do though? I'm only going to make that work for a couple of these. So this is the main outside part right here. So I don't know if I want to add that. But if we do a center particle that are a little black, and let's do this one and this one. So if we take the black trail, those can be a little bit darker purple. If we go to this and change some of the colors, let's look at this real quick. Make some of it nice and bright. See if we make it like a pinkish color, how that would. Looks a little bit brighter, I guess. Not my favorite, but it could have been a lot worse. So our center, if we go to this again, let's do a lighter purple and a darker purple. There we go. We have Kakashi's Purple Chidori. And save it. Okay, so we have those two effects. Now I'm glad I made them on stream because I showed you guys my process. Now hopefully you'll know a little bit more. Yeah, Zach, I was thinking about having multiple different versions. I think I might just include the VFX as optional downloads because that would make a whole lot more sense. Because it would be cool with a whole lot of spells, but then again, by the time this whole mod itself is ready to be uploaded, there's going to be 5 or 6 spells in just this version, not including these variants. So I can make Fireball Jutsu, I guess. I could make it do damage on the enemy over time. That would be kind of cool. But the effects that I had made aren't really living up to my expectations. For example, I mean, it's not bad. It's just not really what I'm looking for. So for now, I'm going to remove it. We have our Fireball Jutsu. Okay. Oh. Okay. Do you guys have any suggestions for any jutsu? Because I definitely appreciate any ideas that you have or anything for this mod itself. Because this is... it's actually really funny. This is starting to become one of the biggest mods in the game. I made it for that purpose, because I love Naruto. I love the show and everything. and I wanted to share it with you guys, but I didn't think it would blow up this much. That might be a good idea. A curse mark and a showering gun. I'll keep that in mind. Let's see. But for now, if we take a look at the atomic dismantling jutsu, we have our particles right here that are animated in our hand. Make it a little bit fun. Let's actually edit some sounds for you guys so I can show you how I do that for those of you that haven't seen me do it yet. Let's go back to this. See if we can find some sounds. So we have the explosion sound, but it's not very long, I guess. For now, what's the Shibuki explosion? I think that's good enough. Let's use a softer Shibuki explosion. And if we actually take this, let's go to our spells. Did I actually add in any of the sound effects yet? I did not. So let's create an audio group. Thunder Road audio, or audio container, excuse me. Ross and Suriken sound effects. Change the size to 1. And add in our sound so. So when it hits the ground, that's the sound it'll make. Name it. Ross and Suriken SFX. Now we currently have this, so let's rename it. Save it. Try to keep everything named as similar as possible. Yes, there is a lot of stuff in this mod, so it's kind of annoying having to keep looking through this, but in the end it's kind of worth it. VFX. Save it. So let's just make sure real quick. Spells. Rasen Shuriken. If we go to the... Nope. Okay. So it's still named just Rasen Shuriken. So now if we go into the script, I named the explosion Rasen Shuriken Explosion. So what we would have to do for that, guys, we have our this right here. What would I do? I would create an addressable. Rasen Shuriken explosion. So we have our explosion. Now all I'm gonna have to do is go into mods, Trials of the Shinobi, see if we have any questions first. Okay. Yep, luckily the explosion sounds that I have are not copyrighted, so that's nice. Oh yeah, a Truth Seeker orb. Okay, Spudsy, question for you then. Do you think that I should have a Truth Seeker orb that when you press the Alt or Spell button, it turns into a 6-bass staff? Would that be something you guys would like to see? Instead of just having a staff. So basically, it would be a black sphere that when you press Alt or Spell button, it would turn into, like, it would animate into the staff itself. Would that be something you guys want to see? I guess a Genjutsu is technically possible. Maybe we would do that. Maybe at some point. Okay, cool. So I will add that to the list as well, if I didn't already do that. That should be easy enough to do. I already have the scripts and everything for that. I mean, you can still throw it. What I could do is write the script so that when you throw it at an enemy, it automatically aims at them. Like it automatically attacks their head or something like that. And then if you create if you turn it into the staff, then it will no longer attack their head. I think I could try to make it do that. Yeah, because what I could do is just, okay, let me write that down. Let's see. If let's just look at this real quick. Disable objects. Yeah, guys, scripts are a whole lot of fun, let me tell you. I'm glad I learned how to actually use them and write them. Although sometimes I kind of wish I had other people to keep doing it for me. If disable objects, .game object, .set active. If that's true. There you go. That is the entirety of what I just told you. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I'm going to be adding a, what do you call it in? What is his name? Pain's Jutsu, the Almighty Push. I'm going to be adding that in. So, I'm wondering if I should make it more of a real spell, because I can kind of easily do that now. Just reskin the Gravity Push. Oh, Campbell, you just said that, actually. Yeah. Yeah, there already is a heat-seeking strip, Zach. So I can just use that. What's up? Okay. So let's see what we got. So we have a Rasen Shuriken VFX. Did I add in the sound yet? Hold on. The Rasen Shuriken sound effects. So there's already sound effects attached to it. These are the explosion sound effects. So, yeah, I guess that's fine. I might be able to do the Almighty Pull. I'm not entirely sure if I have enough knowledge of scripting to do that by myself, so I'd have to ask for help. Okay, so if we go Explosion SFX. Let's take this real quick and let's use our big brains. So these are Russian Shuriken Explosion VFX and sound effects. Nope, that's our startup. There we go. Now everything is named properly. Name it sound effects. Save it. Enter. Alright. Russian Shuriken Explosion VFX and our sound effects. That is perfect. It's exactly what we wanted. Also, for you guys that don't know, these sound effects are being added to the Rasengan. And then looping. So when you're actually holding it in your hand, that's all going to be added. I could do the Twin Lion Fists. It'd just be a little bit annoying to make the VFX for that. That'd be pretty cool. And it could drain your health. Might be a good idea. I can try to use some of Davy's script that he used to make the blood mod do that, because in it you can choke enemies, and when holding the trigger, you actually steal their health. Interesting. So they're just black balls, I guess. Maybe they're grayish. I mean, honestly. Ready? You guys want to know how you make a truth-seeking orb? Let's find something small like a kunai. Just to scale it a little bit. All we're going to be doing is this. Bam. Truth-seeking orb. Ta-da. A little bit easier than I thought it was going to be. That looks a little bit shiny. Very slightly. One thing we could do is make it just pitch black. But, alright guys, I believe that is it for this tutorial for now because I'm getting a little bit tired. And I've been doing the stream for you guys for a while. Yes, I can add a wave using the better AI mod at some point, but I have some of the models on my Patreon, but if you do become a patron and you just message me about it, I will send you whatever model you'd like. But thank you, Party. I appreciate it. But alright guys, I'm exhausted. I've been on here a lot. So for now, what I'm going to be telling you is if you haven't already subscribed, please do. I make videos like this all the time, tutorials, and just keeping you guys up to date on what I like doing for the modding community. If you want to download beta mods, have access to a bunch of my particles, my weapons themselves, the Unity packages, etc., you can download them on my Patreon. If you would like to, you can also check out my new store where you can buy some merch. And yeah, with that, thank you all for watching, and I will be seeing you guys next time. So, see you later.